of the questions that often gets asked is, okay, so if we're going to be intersectional, like what does that mean in practice? And what that means in practice often is having to really consciously look at all the different identities and all the different sorts of power that exist in a space, and how do you address them? And if you're trying to go for this liberation perspective, because not everyone is, right? Not everyone is. Let's just be real about it. If you're saying you're about sexual liberation, how are you enabling the liberation of all the different constituencies that exist, right? So if you're holding an event about sexual liberation and in a venue that is not wheelchair accessible, you're going to miss out on some people. And it doesn't even matter if you don't have any people in your community that you know of that are in wheelchairs. You're already sending a message that doesn't matter to you. And like, I've done that. I've hexed that up over the years. Like, disability justice is one of the pieces that, because it didn't feel as personally relevant to me, it took me longer to realize how important it was. And so I also want to make space for people who don't realize that racism is as big of a deal, or don't realize that classism is as big of a deal. That's fine. You were probably brought up to not think of them as big deals. Or if you're a person who's lower class or a person of color, maybe you were taught that you had to hide that discomfort or hide the fact that those were issues, and you had to assimilate. However, we're here talking about it now. And the idea is that once you know better, you can do better. So now that you know, how are you going to make that change? How are you going to grow and evolve so that your work can be better? Because a lot of people look at it as, oh, you're critiquing me. You're telling me I'm doing it wrong. You're saying I'm causing harm. And I don't think I'm someone who can cause harm to people. So what is this problem? And it's not about saying you're doing it wrong. It's saying you can do it better. I trust that you can do it better, be more inclusive. And by doing that, some people will have to actually give up power.